Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Today we finally had a little break in this cold front. So if you're not in Texas, basically we had 2 weeks of cold front, and then there was a small break in between that with, you know, still probably freezing temperatures, but not in the teens, so not ideal to go fishing. Today has kind of been the first break in that. Even today it's I think right now 40 degrees, and it's gonna get a little bit windy and colder later. But I had to take the opportunity to get to wet a line because I was just going crazy staying inside. So happy to be outdoors, and today gonna do a fishing challenge for you guys. So let's get to our spot and I'll talk about that. All right guys, so today's video is gonna be a Monsterbass Slam. This is my first monster bass subscription box that I got this month for January, so I thought it was fitting to do a slam. So essentially, if you're not familiar, all we want to do in the challenge is to try to catch a fish with each one of these lures that are in this box. To be honest, that's going to be very tough because I think there's 6 or 7 lures in here, and as you guys know, it's winter fishing. It's very tough. The fish are lethargic. If you get one to bite, you're pretty lucky. So I know this is going to be tough, and so I'm not going to go into too much detail about each lure that's in this box. You can look at my last unboxing video if you're curious or interested. So let's get rigged up and get to tossing. One of the things that came in the box is this neck gaiter, so I'm definitely going to use this today because it is a little bit cold. I'm a little bit underdressed, so this could be used for the cold, and this would also be used to block out the sun, but today I'm going to use it to block out the wind. One other thing I forgot to mention was the rod and reel that I'm going to be using. So I signed up for a 12-month subscription, and they gave me a spinning combo. I think it's valued at $160. It's a 13 fishing Fate Black, and it is a 610. It's a fast action, medium light power. Lure weight is 1/8 ounce to 1/2 ounce. Line weight is 4 to 10 pound, and then the reel is 13 fishing Kaloon R, I believe, and this is the radioactive. It's kind of growing on me. I will be honest with you, it's not my favorite color as far as the reel. It's a little bit too bright, and it's just a little too flashy for my liking. But I did actually reach out to support because I wanted to see if they can send me a reel that matched the rod, because I really like the rod. But unfortunately they said that they were out of the reels that I guess match with this with this rod. So you know, they were great. They offered me a discount code if I wanted to use that for, you know, maybe selecting a different reel. I took a quick look but couldn't see anything, so I said, you know what, I'll just keep it. And it's gonna go great with this challenge. Enough talking, let's get to tossing. All right, this is the Lifted Jigs sup jig, and it's in Sun Craw, and I decided to use the Ned Ocho since it matches the hatch. So we'll get that going and see if we can catch something on it. I just noticed, check out this huge gizzard shad on the side of the bank here. That is a big shad, and his tail's munched off, so I don't know if maybe a turtle got him or something else. There's a little some timber sticking out. You could see right across, so tried to get it right near there. This little inflow is super shallow, but it's also very clear. Just gonna kind of walk down. I don't see any fish activity here. Yeah, and then it just gets super thin and shallow, so I doubt I'm dealing with anything there. Might throw on the spinnerbait. Just cover, I mean, this is a bigger body of water. Man, there's gizzard shad all over this place. This is just a big body of water to cover, so not a whole lot of places I see like that would be ideal for the jig, right? It's just kind of all the same around, so let's get to moving. And you know what? I think I am gonna throw on the spinnerbait, and I typically don't use trailers, but we'll use the Grande Bass 4 or Shad Tricks electric shad. So let me get that tied on and I'll come back. Alright, that does look juicy. I might trim it down a little bit, but that's what we're working with. Let's see how it looks. And the water is moving that way, so I think I'm gonna make my trek that way, because if there's any feeding going on, you know, it's pushing the wind in the water. It's pushing the bait fish in that direction, so. At this creek, literally the only place I've seen any fish activity. Oop, oop, I have something following me. Yup, he's coming. Come on, bite that thing. Oh, I have two on me. Come on. Pick it up and run. I'm bouncing it on the floor. He's curious. Come on. The one behind him is a lot bigger. Oh yeah, there's three. And there's one actually that's pretty decent size. It's kind of funny, the big one there doesn't have any interest at all. Drop it right on him. But you know what? I have an idea. I'm gonna throw on the jerk bait. Alright, this is the Orange Julius jerk bait for Monsterbass. I'm trying to go in the direction of the wind and also where I think it might be pushing out. Let's go this direction. Come down there. Pop it a couple times. Got one. Ooh, yes. Nice. I think that's looks like a bass. Yeah. Get up here. Came for the old jerk bait, huh? Ooh, you're a cold one. You are a cold bass. And not a bad one either. Look at that. This one's fattening up for the... I was gonna say for the winter, but winter's already here. Right on, I get to mark you off my list. That was awesome. I guess I just needed to slow it down and give it the old jerk bait. Thank you, my friend. Well, not a bad one. Well, we can knock off the old jerk bait. Now, the only other thing I'm thinking we can do... I gave the spinnerbait a fair chance. I'm kind of seeing how those bass were reacting, and that little creek actually helped me and made me think of the jerk bait. So essentially what I was just trying to swim it, and they were like not interested, and then I dropped it and just kind of jigging it on the bottom, and they would come up to it, but they weren't doing anything with it. So yeah, I was kind of cued in the direction of the jerk bait, thinking, well, if a jerk bait, you know, which just imitates a dying bait fish, is just suspended in the water, you know, it twitches every couple of seconds, that's probably going to cause more of a reaction for them, a reaction bite. And so my instincts were correct. All right, here's the prop spy. This is the bucket mouth, and this is in ghillie color. You got one propeller in the front, one propeller in the back, and then a little skirt there on the back, 2 treble hooks. And from my understanding, you're supposed to kind of throw this thing out, let it hit the bottom, and then just give it a slow retrieve back. So that doesn't sink. So am I doing something wrong? Maybe I was looking at the wrong bait, because that thing is basically a topwater. It is not going underneath the water. I mean, it's slightly underneath the water. Well, if there's any prop spy experts, please leave me a comment. Am I doing something wrong? Is this what it's supposed to be doing? Are they all different? Is this a floating versus a sinking? I don't think I'm going to get bit on the top of the... These propellers put off a good amount of movement in the water, and they also make a pretty decent rattle. But I mean, this is literally fishing right underneath the surface. Alright, let's pause. I'm going to open up YouTube and do a little more digging, see if I'm doing something wrong here, which I doubt. Yeah, this is strange. Well, I looked at the package again. I looked at the Monsterbass booklet. There was no information on it. YouTube doesn't have many videos of, you know, this specific model, the bucket mouth. There are other prop spies that I saw their videos on, and they are showing or saying that it should be sinking. Now, what's interesting about this one is, what was the weight on this one? I don't remember the weight, but it's not very heavy. As you can see, it just kind of sits there and floats at the top. I was pretty excited about this one, but I I am not too excited about it now because I just don't anticipate fish coming up and wanting to eat this thing on the top. I mean, even though, yeah, these ponds are shallow. Even with my rod tip down, it is not going down. It is barely below the surface of the water. Well, I'll give it a couple casts, but I'm not confident at all anything's gonna try to come and eat this thing. I like the design, I mean, I like the color. All the videos I was watching online were saying make a long cast, let it sink to the bottom, count it down, and then start your retrieve. But yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I did read the package it came on, doesn't say anything about it being top water. It says throw over cover, along grass lines. But maybe it's subtle enough that maybe that's why it could draw the fish out or in or up. What's also a little bit tough too is I can't tell. Okay, yeah, the propeller in the front is moving. From a distance, it may be spinning so fast that it looks like it's not moving. Well, we are here. It's going to be the third and final day of this Monster Bass Challenge. It's been tough, to be honest. It's been a struggle. There's probably several ponds that won't even make it into the video, just because I don't want you guys to see me cast 500 times around a pond. So this is the last lure that I have not given a shot. So let's take a look at it. It's the X Zone Punisher Craw, or Punisher Craw. I have it on a 3/0. Just have it Texas rigged. I do have it pegged with a 1/4 weight